Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network
Keep it.
Nope.
Gooch can't do that. Oh, hold on. Barbie's playing.
Yeah, turn Barbie off.
Oh, sorry. That was my Barbie ringtone. Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and this is Relive, Replay, and Reexperience, or as we like to call it, Re3, is where you guess it, we do all three of those things to our favorite video game franchises. In this edition of Re3, we'll be replaying, reliving, and reexperiencing Telltale's The Wolf Among Us, based on the comic book series Fables, created and written by Bill Willingham. And of course, in anticipation for the sequel coming out at an undisclosed date and year. Here to uncover Fabletown's mystery, as always, the triple threat, Chris Trio.
Gooch. How are you?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm doing all right.
That's good.
We just reviewed John Wick, and
We did.
Yeah.
And we're still in it.
We're still in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I'll say my review. I saw the first one. I haven't seen any of the other ones. So
A seminal action film.
check them
I
out.
would
The
say.
new one's the best one.
Yeah.
Change that.
I would disagree. But yeah, you should change
And
it.
of course, that person was, you know him. You love him.
Ooh.
The original Delco nerd, Joey Farrell.
For all the audio listeners, it's motherfucking Joey Farrell. Motherfucking hell yeah.
How you doing?
Do it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, Joe just had a great day at work.
I did. I came straight from work.
Yeah.
Gotta
Slow
love it.
morning.
It's
watched
real
a-
commitment. We
watched a
appreciate
little-
it here.
I just can't say that. Watch the little YouTube videos. Watch the little
No,
Walking Dead
but
clips.
Dude,
you were doing work. You were
I was
working
doing
If
work.
you're
hard,
not, if you don't have a second screen of something non-work related, you're not working.
yeah. My favorite.
You're not working.
My favorite meme, or it was like a video I saw, it was especially during COVID. It was like, when it's that time of the day when you switch from your work screens to your fun
Yep.
screens, and it's just a
Yep.
guy just turning in his desk
Best part
to
of
his
my day.
different screens.
I mean, I do that, but I just don't move.
yeah, no, I do the same thing.
When I go
I've been getting
from,
like a lot of neck pain from looking at my computer for some
Yeah.
reason. I'm thinking about getting a standing desk, actually.
That's the move. I
Just
do.
to be able to
I
sit,
have
like-
a desk with shelves up here, and I put my second screen up here so that I can.
Tria, would you say your neck is crooked? We're here to
What?
discuss the third episode of The Wolf Among Us, A Crooked Mile, which came out on April 8th,
that what it's called?
2014.
Crooked Mile?
Crooked Mile.
I didn't even look. I stopped
Shows
looking
your
at the
commitment.
title.
I don't think it's like that much of a, like a
I did
tractor.
look, but I forgot, to be honest.
So, to keep it straight with the other episodes, first one released October 11th, 2013. Second one, February 4th, 2014. This was a literal 2-month turnaround.
Oh, wow.
So we went February 4th to April 8th. 2 months compared to October, November, December, January, February, which is 4.
That's in
so we
4
got this
days
in
from now.
half the time.
Interesting.
It's the anniversary in 4 days from now. It's February
Oh,
4th.
fuck, dude.
Or what is
That's-
it? April? What month?
April 8th.
April month now.
April month now?
It's been a long day.
Yeah,
I'm
it's okay.
confused.
April Fools? What are we talking
April
about?
Fools, baby.
So let's jump into this episode. We start off, of course, on a downer note. Lily's funeral.
Yikes.
Couldn't get any worse than this, guys.
No, well, and we start
Under
well,
a
we start
bridge,
out,
by
well,
the way.
Yeah,
That's
which
right.
is how I want mine to be done as well.
Well, we start out at the crime scene still, right? Because or like right, and then we
You
move
just
over
played
to,
it,
Yes.
so ma-
Yeah, I think so. We
Yeah.
start out at the crime scene,
Yeah,
then we
little brief.
make our way over to the funeral,
Which crime scene?
the one with where you find Ichabod's like
Yeah, the
pictures
the
and
brutal,
stuff,
brutal
and where the
killing.
brutal killing took place.
Oh, right.
In the-
Yes.
in the
yeah,
hotel.
he leaves. Yes.
The
Yeah,
brutal
yeah.
bloody murder.
Sorry.
at
The
the
brutal
hotel.
bloody murder.
Yeah.
So yes, we make it to the funeral where Snow seems to be giving some type of eulogy. Did you let her finish?
No.
Yes.
I did. Why didn't you let her
I
finish?
didn't specifically because of this moment, because I was like, I know the guys are gonna do it right. I gotta do it wrong.
I got to do it wrong.
That's fair. No, I like
So
it.
yeah, I was just Big B, and I was just like, Snow, it's really important. Snow,
Excuse me, sorry.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that. Yeah, nothing really that much different. It's just
Yeah.
kind of funny. They all get mad at you.
Yeah, they all get really
Yeah.
pissed off.
And then later on, when you see Lily's the sister that's alive or the sister that's dead.
Holly's the sister
Holly's
that's
the sister
alive.
Later, when you see Holly, she's talking about it though. She's like, that fucking Big B. I don't know if that happens in the normal playthrough too, but
yeah, she definitely. So I let her finish, and then she gets really mad because they threw Holly's or Lily's body down
yeah.
the wishing
So
well.
she just gets
Crane
mad
does it
regardless.
because, like,
Yeah.
I told her we would get the body,
Yep,
but
same.
you
Yeah.
can't.
She's all
That's
PO'd
like
about
you,
that.
You can't control that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then the old Tweedledee and Tweedledum show up. How'd you handle that?
I think I played it cool. I didn't do anything. I didn't I'm like, this isn't the place. Like,
I was like, sure,
not
whatever.
trying to escalate the situation, and kind of like not answering their questions, which I was like, oh shit, they're noticing that.
Yeah,
they noticed that.
Yeah, I was definitely talking shit. I played it in 2 parts. I played what is it? Today's Tuesday. I played part of it Sunday, part of it Monday. The Sunday part, I was brutal. And then I chilled out yesterday. So.
Oh, really?
So I was still in
Monday,
fucking mode. And I was like, you guys
started
aren't going to fucking shoot anybody.
I started chill, and then near the end of the episode, I
Yeah.
got a little rowdy for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I not a ton happens in this first half. You're trying to find Crane. You're trying to inform Snow about what you figured out with that he's had a bit of a fetish of some kind.
Freak shit.
Yeah, he really likes that Snow White. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna say.
Hussy?
Yeah, and yeah, you go to the funeral.
Explicit.
Shit happens. Shit, we are marked as an explicit podcast. It is shit goes down. They escalate the situation very unnecessarily, in my opinion.
Yeah, really.
Like they just
It's like,
attack them.
Until I started blasting.
Yeah. So I started
like it's that moment.
So yeah, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they shoot little Holly.
Holly and Graham, right? Yeah, they attack them both.
Well, and I guess Bigby gets a shot, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Graham gets shot, but he's just like fine.
Yeah,
not-
did you help him or did you go for the other one? I went for the other one.
I went for I went for
one.
both. So I stopped him from getting shot, and then I ran back over and then kicked the shotgun out of the way. But then the other guy did shoot Grim still. Or
Yeah, Gren.
Gren. I keep saying Grim for something. What is he from again?
Grendel.
Grendel, right?
From
right.
Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Yeah.
right.
So, and then after that, we wake up. We're back at the business office. Dr. Swinehart fixing us up. I do have a little bit of knowledge on our Dr. Swinehart.
Drop
Who's
the
You want to
knowledge.
save that for the fun facts, or would you like to?
No,
go
this
right
isn't
at-
a fun fact.
All right,
I'm
fun
just
teaser.
going over the characters, the new
Right,
characters that we
yeah.
meet. So he is in the comic and the game. He's from the fable, The Three Army Surgeons. It's a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. 3 traveling army soldiers perform surgery on themselves to impress an innkeeper. That's the base
Interesting.
idea. Sometimes, dude, these fables, like, they give you the full thing, and I'm like, I just need, like, a sentence or two.
No, I
guys.
know. I've been
I don't
meaning
need
to
the
read
full
more of
fucking
the
thing.
actual like fable notes
Yeah.
about like exactly
What
where they're from.
what about the brothers Slim and the early skinny guys?
What?
For like a joke. What about that?
Like,
I think there's something.
Yeah.
Will the
just
real
keep
Tweedledee-
what
dropping
about,
that
what about
one.
the brothers Slim Jim?
will the real Tweedledee please stand up?
Yeah, the brothers Slim
See what I
Shady.
did?
Yeah, no, you got
There
it.
you
Yeah,
go.
the brothers Slim
Excuse
Shady.
me, fellas. No tangents this episode.
Yeah, no tangents. No tangents.
My
So
apologies, yes,
I
let's get
thought
back on
that
track.
I thought that. Have you guys been reading like the fable entries that you get?
That's what I was just talking about. I want to start
They're
reading
pretty
them more.
interesting.
Yeah.
So Dr. Swinehart's I found was more interesting than his actual fable.
Yeah.
So he is a resident Fabletown physician, so skilled in the art of instrumental surgery that he can safely operate on himself, which is the
Badass. That's some Lost
interesting.
vibes.
Yeah.
You ever see the first season of
Yeah.
Lost?
Yes.
Jack Alpert. Yeah.
That's a show I got to rewatch.
Yeah.
He served as an army medic for years, sometimes using his talents to impress the locals, and just like the fable. He currently runs the special research section of the Knights of Malta Hospital, so named to discourage people for investigating what is actually a reserved fables-focused health facility. So he is the fable doctor, which makes sense. But there's only one, so like, what if he dies?
Then
They seem pretty tough to kill.
Yeah, but
apparently.
like,
unless you're chopping someone's head off. But still, you're right.
Oh, dude, it's so hard to not go on a Walking Dead tangent right now.
with heads
Do you
chopping
remember
off.
this? Real quick, do you remember the surgeon in Alexandria who's beating his wife? And then they're like, "Well, we can't kick him out. He's the surgeon."
yes.
That would be such
Relatable,
a shit, yeah.
relatable. Back on track. No tangents. No tangents.
Yeah, I thought that was. So he is an actual Brothers Grimm character. You're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so and then after this, I think we're like looking around Crane's office to find out where to go next. But before that, I think you can talk to Buffkin and no one else is there.
Snow,
And
a
Snow,
little
and you can
bit,
look
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And then Snow asks Bigby a pretty interesting question about if he enjoys like essentially the trouble that like comes about his job and like because like
That's Snow. Snow's asking him.
that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said
Buffkin.
Yeah,
No,
no.
Snow.
That would
Yeah.
be funny for Buffkin.
Yeah.
So
It's like a weird,
I don't-
serious
yeah.
moment.
I don't think I answered.
I did.
So I meant to press
just-
Y, but it didn't go through for some reason, and I just stayed silent.
So I did do the one where he's like, he doesn't admit it, but he doesn't deny it. The one where he's like, what does that even matter right now?
But
because I was like, that's
it's funny.
sick.
The answers are not yes, no. Like
Yeah.
they're not.
well,
like,
there is one the why I'm at.
Wasn't that like no?
No, it does say yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to do the right thing or something like that,
Yeah.
or like because it's
But like,
asked
but like
something
that's
along
still
the
not
lines of,
answering
like,
the
do you
question.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
he
all
was like,
kinda
do you?
dodgy.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Because
I
she's
feel
like,
like
do
one
you
of them
enjoy
is like
it?
a no though, or yeah, he's like, no, come on, stop that.
Yeah, I think there is a no. on
But
that
I
one.
did go with like a.
But they're all like
the closest to a yes I could get, which was just
Yeah.
like, what does
What's
that even
that? Who
matter?
cares?
That's
Yeah.
not relevant
Yeah.
to what we're talking about.
Right. So
Which I
I'm
thought was
I'm
pretty
interested to be like, okay, is the answer actually yes? They're just like,
Yeah.
you know, kind
There's
of
gotta
like,
be some
here's
degree
your
of it.
evasive answer choice.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about Bigby, like outside of being the detective of Fabletown, what does he have?
Nothing.
An apartment with a smoking pig. Like,
he's the bad guy.
yeah. So obviously
over
he
there.
wants things to. Yeah, he doesn't. What's his purpose if not to be there to fix stuff? So yeah,
Right,
stuff's
right.
gotta
He
go
fucks
wrong.
up.
I
Stuff
appreciate. Was that a Billie Eilish reference? Did I miss
Yeah.
that? I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hell
so-
yeah.
He's the bad guy.
So really.
Shout out to Billy.
No, that was an interesting moment, and yeah, I think you can give more of a definitive answer on one of them, but I could be wrong. So after that, you just are looking through his desk, right, and you find the book. What's in the book? Doesn't he have like something ripped out of the book?
I think it's the Fables book that he rips the Snow White page out of.
Yeah.
And then
No,
there's
I
like
thought it was about the ring. I think it's about because there's one inside his desk
the
that
ring
they
of
take out,
the dispelling ring,
and
yeah.
then that's how they find out about Auntie Greenleaf.
Greenleaf. Yeah.
Or that
and-
he's buying, and Buffkin overhears him on
That's
the
right.
phone.
He knows
Yeah.
he's going, and
Yeah.
Buffkin remembers that he has an appointment with his witch, which he
Right.
doesn't know who the name is of it. And that's
But it's
where we have
happening
to-
at 2 a.m.
and you have to
and it's
figure,
midnight.
Yes, and we have to figure out where that's happening. So
And then Bluebeard comes in and he's like,
I was not paying
rabble,
I was
rabble.
like, yeah. Whatever,
Yeah, like leave us alone.
I love how we all just got like,
I
No,
didn't
it's
care.
true. Like I don't fuck you, Bluebeard.
he's like, I'm going here, you're going there.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right,
I'm
fine,
going
yeah.
there.
He's like,
wherever you're not going, I'm going.
You're just a clerk, Snow White. What do you think? So yeah, we have three options.
Yes.
We can go to Crane's place, the Trip Trap, right?
Yep.
Or what's the third one?
Tweedle's office.
Right.
The both of them.
Where
The
did
brothers
you
Dean Dog.
gentlemen go? I don't know.
I went to Crane's office.
I went to Crane's apartment as
I
well.
also went to
Or-
I think
Apartment,
I think
yeah.
the answer is pretty obvious. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we've just been at the Trip Trap bar.
Yeah.
Why would that be your first choice?
Yeah.
And the Tweedle's office just seems like we've
Which is-
we've encountered them enough to know that like it's kind of like dead endish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why would they have that information?
Yeah, they're not masterminds. I
Yeah.
mean, you find out by the end of the episode, especially, it proves it. But yeah, they're not the masterminds. So it's like, well, there's no point just.
You know,
chasing
it's
these
funny,
guys.
and I was gonna say, I guess you figure it out by going to the Trip Trap, but you really wouldn't have unless you go to Crane's place first because you run
think so.
into what's his name? Pete? Is it? What's the one?
Oh, Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
You run
Yeah.
into Jack, who actually gives you anti-green, which is green level.
Greenleaf. It's been a long day for all
Green-
of us.
Red Letter
name.
Media.
Yeah, red letter. What
Green-
is happening? Green letter media. Anti-green leaf. Then you find you get all your shit together. What time did you guys get to the actual?
Slightly
Apartment.
late.
Slightly late.
Wait.
Yeah. Wait, the
And-
apartment. or-
you're skipping all the way to Anti Greenleaf already?
Oh, I mean, I feel like nothing really like. So we talked to Jack. I'm sorry, and then we
Yeah,
get the
Jack-
info out of
Jack's cute.
out of him about Anti-Greenleaf.
Yeah.
and he asked
Yeah.
you to not mention that he's there, but you know.
So he is like he's just stealing shit.
Yeah,
like
he's just- he's there to
there is
pilfer.
nothing
Respect.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like
He heard shit was going down.
Right,
Yeah.
he's
He
just
saw
like
an opportunity.
yeah.
I mean,
getting in
look
there.
at the living conditions of everybody in Fabletown. Do you blame him for being?
And
like,
then
all right,
look at Crane's apartment. That's
Yeah.
like this, like
He's got a
Art
bust of
Deco-
himself.
Yeah, with a bust of himself.
Yeah.
and like it's in a portrait of himself.
Yeah.
So while you're there, so you find out he's taking money from the business office. So he's actually committed a crime.
Yeah.
You know, we think he's murdered Lily. We don't know that yet. We're trying to pin that on him.
Yeah.
And as you go through this episode, it really just seems less like that
Yeah.
he did it.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I like
I still got my.
while I was in
doubts.
episode 2, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot. But
Yeah.
he is embezzling money from the business office, so he's stealing money for himself, which is why he has all these fancy things. And on his voicemail, there is a voicemail from somebody we're gonna meet later in this episode.
Yeah, so that is
which
her.
I
Okay, I thought
didn't
that's who it
realize
was.
that, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
I don't know if I
oh,
listened
fuck.
to the voicemail now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't. It's nothing like crazy.
It's her just.
Yeah.
It's her threatening him basically.
right.
Yeah. Speaking to like remembering and forgetting stuff, completely like as soon as I saw her, I mean, skipping ahead. As soon as I saw her, I was like, "Oh yeah, that is like a major." Oh yeah, now it's coming back to me.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
I
so
remember-
funny how
I
I
had-
don't remember anything, and then as soon as I see it, I'm like, "Oh, it's all coming back to me now." Yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah.
I wish I could remove. We've said this before, but I wish I could remove that knowledge because
Yeah.
I did. I can't get it out of my head that I know that what's going on with Crane and that specifically
Still
what will
barely,
happen.
yeah, still
Like I
hasn't
just
come to me
remember
yet.
that what his involvement is. Like, and I'm
Yeah.
like trying to get that out of my mind, but yeah,
I'm excited for somebody like me who's dumb and has a bad memory. I'm looking forward to getting to there. It's gonna be fun.
stuff.
Do you have an option of where you can go second?
I think so.
yes,
yeah.
because you could either go.
Do we all go to Tweedle's office?
I went to Trip Trap.
I went Trip Trap.
Wow. Okay. So at the Tweedle's office, that's where Bluebeard goes. If you go to, I guess, Crane's apartment.
Is he still there when you get there?
No. So he got in an altercation with Flycatcher, and he punched him. So Flycatcher, he is in the comic of the game. He is the Frog Prince, and that is a German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm, published in 1812.
Oh, that's not the other Frog Man.
I'm looking at this guy.
No.
up, so I don't-
Interesting.
Flycatcher is
like the frog, like the one
prince.
who kisses,
Who turns into a
yeah,
frog.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So it is.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah. So you
Dang.
did. So did you actually go there at all?
No,
Oh
I
wow.
didn't see him. I hope he shows up in the next two
Yeah, I didn't-
episodes.
yeah.
'cause, just didn't
I don't
go.
know. Yeah, he has like a
hat.
frog hat on. It's
Yeah.
a pretty interesting design because
Yeah.
it's like he's a person, but like we're just gonna allude to the fact that he was a frog
Yeah.
at one point. Yeah, I mean, I could tell you the. Do you want me to tell you what the Frog Prince is about?
Spill
real
the
quick?
beans.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Traditionally, it is the first story in the Brothers Grimm collection. This is the first one.
Also known as the Brother Slim Jim.
Yeah, the Brothers Slim Jim. We're calling
Brother
them from
Slim
that.
Shady.
I'll try to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm going to call them that. In the tale, a spoiled princess reluctantly befriends the Frog Prince, whom she met after dropping a golden ball into a pond under a tree. He then retrieves it for her in exchange for her friendship. The Frog Prince, who is then under a wicked fairy's spell, magically transforms back into a handsome prince. I don't know if I would call Flycatcher handsome, but okay. To each their own.
That's very judgmental, Gooch.
cutie.
Yeah, you know.
I'll judge another man if I want to.
I will judge another
is a
man
free country.
however I please.
And then we go to the Trip Trap bar.
Yes.
And
Wait, so you end up going to the Trip Trap anyway? Still?
yeah,
Interesting. So
I have
you
to
don't
go
get
there.
any info that is okay. So you just interesting.
So I went to the Trip Trap bar later than you. What happens when you guys get there?
Would you like to take it, or do you want me to take it?
I barely remember. I played
All
it on
right.
Sunday.
So you
2
arrive
days
there,
ago.
and it's
Sure, it's like,
Gren.
well, I played it today. And I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
very fresh. So you arrive there, and it's Gren and the woodsman
drunk,
drunk,
fighting.
and yeah, they get in a. There, he's like Gren keeps talking about how like annoyed he is at the woodsman for like being with Lily behind all their backs
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And yeah, they just kind of have this drunk altercation that you let go, and then Gren passes out, and it says Gren will not remember this.
Which
That-
is
that's funny.
Yeah,
Very
which
funny.
is like
Great.
also meta storytelling
Exactly.
for me playing the game.
Exactly.
And then not
you
remembering
get
2
it.
days
You get storytelling. You understand it.
When I finish the game, it also says Joey's not going to remember any of
Nothing goes over your head.
When he's
You
sitting
really
there
don't. Yeah.
in front of that mic, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing
no,
going
it's
on
fun. I
up
do
here.
like playing these right before we do it, but you know, you're running. A
Even
gamut.
I
Because,
played
like,
it.
it's
I played it like last Tuesday, and I'm having some.
so yeah.
Some memory
They get in
trouble.
a fight, and then Gren end up just as like you can go look in the back with there's whatever back there,
Yeah.
and you find Lily's little address book
Yeah.
in her
Right.
among her things, and that leads you to AG and to Greenleaf.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
like
that's it,
everybody.
right? Yeah, I mean,
I like
yeah,
everybody
that's
at the Trip Trap.
I do too. And
Woodsman,
brought them
Holly, Gren. I think they're cool.
It's interesting. I don't know if I like them.
I would want to hang out there. I think that's what it gets me. Is like,
yeah,
That's
the
your
dive
spot.
bar. Yeah,
that's
cool
a
little
cool
dive
It's
bar.
actually the first. I was looking at the Trip Trap like wiki page, and it's the first bar in New York. I think.
Is that what
Really?
within like the
In
lore?
real life?
That's the
no,
idea.
in,
like,
in the
lore.
lore,
Yeah.
like the
hype for a
like
second.
like
be some shit.
It was like owned by like different fables, and like Holly is just the most recent owner.
I see.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah, I forget. I think that's where I read that. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're on our way to Auntie Greenleaf's apartment, and we get there, and this, we knock on the door. Snow White's there. Did you guys try to kick open the door?
I did.
You
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
You
So
can't,
I
man?
like knocked first, and then I tried to do it, and she's Snow's like,
Yeah.
I went right for the the kick, and she does
Yeah.
that. She's like,
Which
"What the
is
fuck
so
are you
funny
doing?"
that
Yeah.
he telegraphs it hard enough that he's like this, and she's like, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
he really fills up his chest
like,
to go. Yeah.
And then a little girl opens the door, and her name is Rachel, and her mom is asleep, and she's kind of like,
or out or something. She was just
she's
swiping.
like entertaining you, but clearly doesn't want you to come in. But obviously,
You're coming in.
we
you're
have to
searching
play this
around.
game, so we
Didn't
have
buy
to
it
go
for
in.
a second. Can I go back for 1 second for a little bit? Sorry,
Absolutely.
When
Yeah.
we're in the trip trap and talking to the woodsman, I didn't realize in earlier episodes that it's the same voice actor
Yep.
as Bigby.
Yes.
Dude, in this one, it's like really obvious. I don't
Really,
know if-
I didn't
I
get it.
didn't catch that at all.
Maybe
I
I
didn't
was
know
just
that.
being oblivious for the first two, but there's a couple of lines in this where it sounds like he's just doing the Bigby voice, and it was like,
You think
Really?
it's because
What?
you think it's because he's drunk?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe like he's
Maybe
and
his
he's supposed to have
drunk
like a
version of
broken
the
jaw,
character is
right?
closer to-
I guess
Yeah, but I don't know. There was one
really
part where I
didn't
was
notice
like,
that.
oh my
Interesting.
god, this sounds identical.
I would not have known
Yeah,
that.
I
didn't
knew
know
it
that at
because
all.
I was do the research. And,
Yeah.
but I
That's
didn't
funny. I would
catch
not
it.
have guessed that.
And
at all.
again, it could just be that I was paying more attention to like
Sure, sure.
the actual acting. But yeah, there was one line where I was like, okay, that's
all right,
just
Big
Big.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Interesting.
going back to the now back at Andy
Now I'm gonna
Greenleaf's.
pay much more attention.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Did not buy for a second that was the little girl. As bad as my memory's been.
Yeah,
from,
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
she's.
as soon
I
as
was,
I was
pretty,
like,
yeah,
that's
I was
not-
talking
Yeah.
about that too.
even
But
just
again,
which I mean, credit to the actor is that they did portray like that there
Laura
was something
Bailey.
slightly. Shouts out, dude! I love Critical
Yeah.
Role.
You know what's? It's funny. I'm
watched
like
the
this.
episode,
I'm
but-
like I know Laura Bailey's kind of like not known at that. I would say she's known.
she's one of the more well-known.
She probably
voice
did the
actors, for
first
sure.
near. Yeah, she definitely did the first near game by this point. But it's like that's a really small
Who is she,
role.
Kaine?
For yeah,
Yeah.
she did. That's a really small role for
Yeah,
Laura.
I really
Bailey.
only know her because I lived with a bunch of dudes who were into Critical Role, so I know like the whole cast pretty well.
Yeah.
Which was funny when I
Matt
went to play
Mercer,
Persona
Travis
4.
Willingham, her husband.
What's his name? Sam something, Siegel, something like that. He's in Persona 4 though.
Oh, is this a voice actor?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sam
I don't know who
something.
that is.
It'll come back to me.
But yeah, you get the options to
Tangent.
look around the house, and I think you have to hit everything. Like you can't not.
Yeah, because that's
Like, there's
what,
not,
that's
like,
what
one
triggers
thing.
it. You go down and you go to the door to check that, and it's like locked or something, and then you come back, you check everything else, you check the tree and all that,
Yeah,
and then you start finding like the wood. Yeah, as soon as you see the tree, you know you're in the right spot. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is where she's been cutting the
So
things from.
what I didn't understand was why the house would shake.
I think because she was just so powerful. I
What,
guess
when
like
she
she's just when she
transforms?
was getting when she was getting like annoyed.
Yeah, like the
Like, she
house
was
would
like-
shake, and then
like
that
when
like
they
never
said-
really like
Yeah,
came back.
I see that as like a Gandalf thing, like when Gandalf yells and
Right.
Yeah, it's
Fellowship.
just powerful
kinda,
magic.
yeah, just
yeah,
like
her
yeah.
power.
And
Coming off of
so did you guys threaten to burn the tree?
I think I might have threatened. I know I didn't do it.
I threatened, but I didn't
yeah.
follow through with it.
Actually, no. I think I was the whole.
Well,
time, 'cause
Snow threatens to burn.
Yeah.
the
Well,
tree.
that's so yeah. She starts it, but then she asks you like, "What are you gonna do?" Like she kind of gives you, she pushes it to you, and you're like, "Yeah," and then you start to walk over to it, and she's like, "No,
Yeah.
wait," and then you get one more chance to decide.
Right.
Yeah,
You get a
after
few
she tells
different
you-
options.
I
yeah.
shut it down from the beginning. This was like I said when I was feeling much calmer yesterday. I was like, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
burn the
I when
tree.
I remember on my first playthrough, I burnt the tree.
I do remember, yeah.
I didn't burn it this time.
we
Yeah, I
were
didn't either.
teenagers. We were hormonal. We were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
we were
burning
yeah.
just a
You've been
teenage
making bad
Yeah.
fables. What is it now?
just a
Glamours.
teenage dirtbag baby. Just a
exactly.
teenage
What are we gonna
dirtbag.
do?
So Auntie Greenleaf is not a real fable at all.
What
She's
the-
she's just in the game. No, there's no fable attached.
She's the
to her.
second one, right? For that, have we had any other ones that are completely made up for this? I thought you mentioned that we did, but I don't know. You don't have to tell me
I
right
think
now.
there
just
was
thought-
one other. Yeah, I think you're right.
That's like crazy.
Yeah.
That, like they couldn't.
Just
how could you not
insert in,
find
like,
a fable that is like an old lady witch?
Right.
That's like the most classicest of all.
Right,
Yeah, like
fables.
Hansel and
Isn't
Gretel.
like isn't like
Yeah,
mother
get the
mother,
witch
mother
from-
goose
yeah,
or
there's-
something?
Literally, that's so crazy. They're
Is
like,
weird.
this one we're just gonna
Maybe
make.
And it
they
up.
couldn't
sounds
get the
like
ro-
it could be real.
Maybe
right?
they couldn't get the rights or something weird like that.
See,
but it's
I'm,
not all public
this
things
stuff
like
has to be an open source.
I'm
man.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, you're right. At least most
All
of it,
of it.
if not all of it. Yeah, like I can't imagine.
So her little fable thing is pretty interesting. She's a horticulturist, alchemist, and lover of animals. Auntie Greenleaf is one of the few rogue witches still living outside the 13th floor,
thought-
unsupervised and unrestricted.
I thought you were gonna say lover of anime, and I was like, hell yeah.
Big Eva fan.
Lover of
Lover of-
anime.
lover of anime.
All things Attack on Titan.
Loves Gurren Lagann.
Rumor, big Attack on Titan fan. Rumored to have a lost daughter in the homelands, she suffers from paranoia, depressive mood swings, and only will venture outside at irregular hours under the guise of an ethereal white deer, an oft whispered specter of Brookhaven natives. So Yeah, and then I like how Bigby like recruits her to join the 13th floor.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like we won't fuck you up, but you have to work
which
legally.
is so sick. And then
that doesn't happen with me.
Oh, really?
No, she goes,
Maybe because you threatened?
I threatened her, and then I was like, we'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
And then Snow's like,
Yeah.
But then we're walking out, and Snow's like, we're not fucking done, Greenleaf, or something like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and then
Bigby's like, this is what you're gonna do. We're not gonna burn your tree, but you're working for the 13th floor.
Oh,
Maybe
he tells her? Oh, see, I'm in the middle because like Bigby kind of invites her, but then like
It seemed like to me he was.
Maybe it is the same
It didn't
voice
seem
line,
like
though.
aggressive, but it's like, here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
And-
Mine felt a little bit more like an invitation, like on the.
Yeah, mine with
because
Snow
kind of shuts it down.
Snow was pissed. She was like, "This isn't over, Greenleaf," or whatever,
Yeah.
and we're walking out.
Which
Yeah, because
Snow is
she
a big
wanted
believer
she
of the,
wanted some harsh
crackdown.
action
Yeah.
there for
Yeah,
the first
she's a
time.
big believer of the war.
Well, I
on
mean,
drugs.
she was glamoring people to look like her to get fucked. So like,
Yeah,
that would probably
yeah.
not make
Makes
you feel
sense.
very well.
There's reason to be
Yeah,
a little bit mad about that.
Well,
annoyed.
I'd be a little.
Yeah,
ticked
I
off.
guess
You
she
know,
probably
that's
doesn't.
a real jerk thing to do.
I guess she probably doesn't care what people do with their glamour. It's just the fact that she sells them and makes money.
No, absolutely. But
You think you think she'd be living a little bit well, you know?
But again, she's
Is she making a lot
she's
of money?
making
Seems
money
like-
off of the poor fables, and so she's only a
don't.
bit more.
Yeah,
less
it
poor.
does seem like
she's only a bit
yeah.
less poor than.
Because she
him.
even
Yeah.
says she's like, how am I supposed
Yeah,
to
like
get
how
by?
much this piece of yeah.
Like,
She's
this
like, how am I
is-
going to pay for this
And-
piece
and
of shit
she-
apartment or
yeah.
whatever?
And she tells us Crane goes to the pudding and pie, right?
yes, she's
Because
yeah,
she gives him the rings of
She's
dispel,
like, I gave him
which doesn't work. So that ring, this is the codex thing of it.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's
It's,
it.
it's the
one of the
Ring.
set. Oh,
It's
okay.
the One Ring now.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Reputed to be fashioned by a Byzantine clan in an attempt to ward off a coven of witches, the Ring of Dispel or Dispelling Ring or Magic Canceling Ring eventually was given to Lancelot by the Lady of the Lake. Recovered by the business office after emigration to New Amsterdam, it was assigned to Greenleaf for caretaking. So they do mention a few times that like they have a book of artifacts and like fables are assigned to certain items, which is interesting. Why wouldn't they just kind of keep them all if they were like worried?
Well, that's the thing. I assume certain people have just their items that they have
Right,
shut.
that
You know what I
too.
mean?
Right.
And then there's others that like, okay, someone died, so we have to assign this artifact to someone else. So
And
they
I guess
can
there
keep-
could be a worry if it's all in the same place that kind of poses a threat to
Yeah, a lot of power.
the entire community. Like if something,
Sure.
if it ever got,
if Crane
I mean, if
was
they have
like,
someone
Thanos'
got- yeah.
gauntlet in there, man,
Yeah.
we're fucked.
is that
Is that a fable now? Yeah.
Bigby turns around. Is that Thanos' gauntlet?
That's the Infinity Stones. What's happening there? But yeah, that was an interesting thing. So we get to the pudding and pie. We hear
and pie.
Crane in the back screaming at some ladies, and we burst in. We
Yeah, so
stop
all
them.
three of them are there. Narissa, Vivian, and
the other one, blonde lady, or is
I
that
can't remember their
Vivian?
names. I know Narissa. That was the only one I remember.
who the fuck is the other one?
I know it's the blonde. It's her and the blonde woman, and then maybe the third one. I can't remember who the third one
We'll
was.
say Jessica.
But I think the blonde woman was one of the fables that was made for this. I feel like I remember you mentioning that.
Vivian.
Actually, Vivian.
Yes,
yeah.
Vivian is on a fable.
So, well, she is, but she's not like a
Real fable.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she is a fable. But
Within this, yeah.
right.
Just making sure. Okay. So yeah, we get there. We interrupt Crane. He is trying to get a real confession out of these women as to who murdered Faith, and they can't because of the. And he says the reason why they can't. Right? It's because of a spell.
Yes.
But he doesn't give a
Right.
specific.
It's my lips are sealed.
Yeah.
And the band.
So okay,
They
so
literally
let's-
can't tell him.
Do
or they'll
so
die.
that's the thing. I don't know if they have alluded to the ribbon being.
Yeah,
If you
part
take
of
it
yet.
off, their head comes off.
No,
Yeah,
I know,
but I
but
think-
that's not known yet.
I
I
think
think by
not
at this-
necessarily.
Yeah.
You don't really. You as the audience member don't know that the ribbon
Yeah.
is doing that.
Right.
is
Yeah.
crazy
It's
'cause-
eally deduced, though.
Well, now,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so true looking.
Sorry,
but I'm
Jai, I
curious.
interrupted you.
No. I was just gonna say like because I remember that's one of the main things I remember from playing
Being,
in high
like,
school. Was like,
revealed.
oh, that's like a cool thing, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. It still hasn't been fully.
Yeah.
It's
Because
definitely
I think
like you
I
said.
think you do it. I think somebody.
Well, I think that's
somebody
what happens
takes
at
it
one.
off.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Yeah, I
I think
don't
it's
know.
Narissa at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Fuck, dude.
cancel the podcast.
cancel
Yeah,
this guy.
sorry, we're done, guys.
Get him outta here.
I ruined the whole podcast. But yes, there's they're alluding to this idea. I mean, not alluding. There's a spell on these women of the night that make them not be able
I mean, this
to,
is
to speak and speak on certain topics. And yeah, Crane's trying to push through with this ring, and it doesn't happen.
And he's
Which is
like,
so fun.
and
It is,
I think
yeah.
once you get there, it is so clear that he did
He
not
didn't do it. He's
He's
just
desperate. He's like, work ring, and
Yeah,
like,
the
you know,
same guy who's like, I can make the ring work.
Yeah.
I can do it. It's
he,
like,
you know,
he's
he
not,
like gets her against.
He's not competent.
He,
at
like,
he's not
anything
doing
like
this.
He
that.
like gets her, not gets her, gets him. Bigby gets him against the wall, and he's still trying. He's like,
Yeah.
"Fucking tell me!" Like,
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
It's so funny.
Like, and he's but like, you know,
And I even
Snow
love
is
the
like
way
looking at him lower than dirt.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I love the way Snow deduces it and the way because like he's like, I don't think she did it, and or she's like, I don't think he did it, and Bigby's like, what? Why? What the fuck? And
Yeah.
she's like, look at him.
Yeah.
He's a sniveling little coward. Like she says something to that
Yeah.
effect. Like he wouldn't want to put his stamp
I
on the world.
love
Yeah.
It's
her
so
voice
good.
actor.
She is great.
She does a great job.
She is awesome. In
What's
this.
the part where she like tells him to shut up too? He like starts to like, he's like, yeah, we could do this, and she's like, you do not
Yeah,
talk.
shut the fuck.
That
Yeah,
part's
I think
I
that's
can't
when they're
remember.
like walking out of the trip trap and they're in
Yeah.
an alleyway.
Yeah.
And then
with-
he goes on his whole tangent after she says that she's like kind of in charge of things, and he's like, I've sacrificed everything for this place, and you know what? Yeah, I did steal, and I don't
Yeah.
care. And then you're just
Yeah.
like, shut. Did you punch
Shut
him, or did you?
No, I
didn't.
I reined it in a little. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about it, and I was like, no, I won't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I was losing it a bit, and she was getting pissed off.
Being good guy, Bigby.
Yeah, being.
I did punch Jack in the gut at one point.
I did too.
I didn't hit him. I just
I-
told him fucking like keep your shit together at that part, and like and Snow's like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. When she came up, I was like, he was helping me or something. I
Right.
helped him out.
Because he kind of was.
Yeah, he.
I
helped,
just said like, it's just he ran into.
Did
him
you
or something.
did you take the money that he Crane had?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
did.
confiscated it.
Yeah, I took it. Because I mean,
Well,
it
'cause
makes
I thought
sense.
you were gonna give it back to Snow. I assume that's what was gonna happen. Because
I imagine
that's
you
like
still
the
have
proof
it.
of the yeah.
Yeah, because you do tell Snow.
Yeah, you
that
tell
that-
her about
yeah.
it. By the yeah. So,
I didn't even think about that. I just like stealing's wrong. I'm not taking.
but
this.
but if it's stolen,
It would be taking it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I'm
So-
not even
you
do
gotta
that.
think about it.
We leave the Trip Trap bar. We got our man. It's time to bring him in.
Yup.
But
Bring him
not
to
before
justice.
Yep.
we're interrupted by a car coming down an alley, which I have to admit is ballsy.
That would be scary in real life.
I'd be like,
Actually.
all right,
Like
I
a
don't
guy
know.
just
I
slowly
don't know.
approaching you in the
Yeah.
car.
this is really cool,
All
but
right.
like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like get
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if follows him down the alley, another car comes, and 3 people get out of it: Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and an unknown woman, but a man sitting in the back seat.
See, I didn't see him at first. I didn't know
Yeah,
until
I didn't
notice
the
till the
moment
end.
at the end when he
Yeah.
goes like,
Yeah, you see his cigarette. Yeah, I think he has a
yeah.
cigarette or something, but you can see his silhouette,
Yeah.
not literally him.
yeah.
But dude, Bloody Mary is so fucking cool.
She is.
I have to admit,
dope.
like, she is like the physical villain
For
of,
sure.
of this.
Yeah.
The Crooked Man,
Someone
is
who can
obviously
match Big
Big
B's
B's
strength.
strength.
Yeah.
right, because the Crooked Man ain't doing shit. Yeah, and I love how like she gets out and like Tweedledum and Tweedledee just got their shotguns. They're ready to fucking throw down. And, they don't know who Bloody Mary is, which I find really strange. But,
Yeah.
like, neither does anyone else, it seems. Like, she's like, what do they call me? What's that
What
name?
do the Mundies call me?
Yeah.
And she was like, Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody
Bloody
Mary.
Mary, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah, no,
and
it's
like
really good.
so it alludes to the fact that like that's not her name. Like
No, yeah.
it doesn't seem like that is actually her name.
And even like she's probably glamored too. She's probably mega scary, not glamored.
Do they show?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like you do
Yeah.
see
You
her
do see her?
unglamored at one
Yes,
point.
at the
I'm
end.
pretty sure you
Yeah.
do.
So
Of the whole game.
yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bloody Mary only in the games. Bloody Mary is a legend of a ghost, phantom, or spirit conjured to reveal the future. She's said to appear in a mirror when her name is chanted repeatedly, mostly 3 times.
Yeah. Which she says 5, which I was like, where
Does
is
she?
that? Yeah, yeah. And I was like, where?
I thought it was 3. I mean,
Well,
I've seen South Park.
in
Dude.
classic,
Biggie Smalls,
yeah,
Biggie Smalls.
In classic,
God damn it!
in classic Tales, yeah, it's
Motherfucker.
3,
Yeah.
but for some reason she says 5 in it. 'Cause
Yeah, I
never-
wonder
was
why
like,
they did that.
I was
That
like,
is interesting.
Maybe like it. I added 3, but it just says chanted repeatedly. I added.
No, but that is
I
usually
ad-libbed.
3. That in
Yeah.
regular folk tales.
The Bloody Mary apparition may be benign or malevolent depending on historic variations of the legend. Bloody Mary appearances are mostly witnessed in a group participation play. So, and that like lines up, it's usually like girls at a party, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
I was
Bloody
so
Mary.
fucking scared of Bloody Mary. when I was a
Are you
kid.
kidding
I
me?
was
Yeah,
Wait,
never
wait,
in a million-
seriously?
Yeah,
Yes.
I would never
I
even
was scared
fuck
of
with that.
mirrors
Yeah.
for so fucking
Dude,
long.
I don't even know
was
if I would do
terrified.
it
I knew
now.
I still wouldn't.
I probably
absolutely
wouldn't.
not.
Like,
I knew that was a thing, but I like never once.
I
Never
you know what?
once,
A big
like,
part of
thought
was,
about it.
I saw Scary Movie 3 way young.
I saw it.
And
too.
I was like,
Dude,
that's so
movies,
scary.
Some of the scary movies.
Yeah.
Were, like,
Well, the one with the
genuinely-
ring, I
Yeah,
remember
'cause
I
that's
saw
three.
when I
Yeah.
I remember
It's
not being
terrifying.
able to sleep
They
at all.
did it so true to form,
Yeah.
and I didn't watch The Ring until like a couple years ago because I thought it'd be too scary for me. It's not. I'm grown up now, but yeah, I saw it really
You're a
young,
big
so
boy.
I was scared of it. And I was like, well, that's probably what Bloody Mary looks like. I'm scared of that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't even like how much we're saying Bloody Mary right now.
Yeah, I know. This is. Are there any mirrors around? That's reflective.
But yeah, no, dude, I was scared of if it going in the bathroom in the dark and there being the mirror there. I was scared of that for like years.
Do you
and years.
remember?
Were you
I
scared
know
of,
we
were
said
you
no.
scared of Biggie Smalls?
No,
I know we said no
a guy.
side tangents, but really quick. There was a scary
We're
horror
pretty
film
deep into
called Mirrors that came out. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember that at all?
I've seen a clip from it. I've never
it
seen
was.
the movie.
It was when we were
It's a
younger.
scary clip.
It scared the shit out of
Isn't
me
there like
from
a
seeing.
big wide? Yeah, that
It
shit's
scared
so
the
scary.
shit out of me. I literally wouldn't look in mirrors for like 2 weeks
Yeah.
after I saw it. I was terrified of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she comes in. She is a fucking forced Bloody Mary. You know, she's like, time for you to give me Mr. Ichabod Crane. And they're like,
Yeah.
And that's when the old Tweedledee and Tweedledum start shooting the
Mm-hmm.
fuck out of Bigby. And you start fucking changing.
Yeah.
You start just going hard.
Totally did not realize you see him in his his
Final form.
the
at
big,
yeah, the big bad wolf.
yeah, like Super Saiyan 7.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan
Yeah.
Big B.
yeah, the blue hair. Like
Yeah.
we're in Dragon Ball Super at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like the way Bloody Mary is just like this force, this like unknown fable that like they clearly don't have any knowledge about. They don't
Yeah.
know how to beat her. She has a gun, but she's clearly also physically powerful.
Yeah.
Did you guys kill? I think it's dumb. It's I did not.
I ripped that.
Because
fucking
I
out
killed
right
him.
out.
I killed him the first time.
I
so
didn't. I don't remember.
I think it's.
anyways.
I
I
think
probably
mo-
killed him as a
he
teenager,
he
too.
shot me the shit.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But it's self defense at this
right.
point.
It's-
I think that's
there's-
completely
There's
reasonable.
time somebody died.
They're
Yeah.
stupid little twerps.
Yeah. Oh, and it was just you just tear
It was
his
awesome.
throat
Throat
out.
out.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
like,
exactly
it's-
what I wanted. I was like, please rip his throat out.
Yeah.
And then I got what I wanted.
Yeah,
I
no.
left
And
happy.
then Bloody Mary comes in with a silver bullet. I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and just
Yeah.
Awesome.
which
Love
I
that.
guess like does Bigby know? I guess he knows that
he's
that
a
would hurt
werewolf.
him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know. But like you assume he would
The
be
huntsman's
aware
axe
that
is
hurt him.
also silver.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
guess-
Which is why, and she has it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good point though, because she even said she's like, you think this would only work on a werewolf,
On a
but-
pure werewolf, she's like,
yeah, on a
she
pure
says
yeah.
something about like
'Cause he turned-
silver supposedly only works on a pure werewolf, but it looks like that's bullshit
Yeah.
or something like that.
So
well-
there is a chance that he wouldn't have known that.
yeah, no, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
that is a good point with the Woodsman axe. It works because it's so. I don't know.
Well, do they
Yeah.
imply
And
that
it's got
in
like
the,
a rune on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it would
True.
make sense for sure, but and I mean that is the greater werewolf lore, silver, obviously.
And
silver
then
bullets.
once he's down, she like breaks his arm
Yeah, with just like
with it stomping on it.
yeah,
like,
she's stomping out a cigarette.
She doesn't even have like a curb to like put it again. She just
Yeah,
like
she
stomps
just-
through it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Pretty
and
badass.
that's how we end.
yeah, big
in a bloody
Snow
mess.
begs for Bigby's life, and which the crooked man obliges.
Yeah, and when he goes,
Yeah.
gets Crane, and we're back to like ground zeros here.
Yeah,
That'll get referenced.
I got it.
Hell yeah.
Anything else before I jump into our fun facts, folks?
I don't think so, man.
I think we should talk about Metal Gear for like 15 minutes, real quick.
Yeah, I think we should do.
Metal Gear Solid. What?
All of them.
What is that?
Oh, it's like this game.
wood cog soft.
It's like this. It's like this pachinko machine.
Yeah, so there's
Ah.
just,
there's
there's
games
this guy named
too?
Snake.
All right,
Yeah.
start from the
And
beginning.
then there's
Yeah.
another snake, and then another snake.
There's another hour tacked onto this podcast of us just talking about Metal Gear Solid.
Like, oh, that's
you
like, oh, yeah.
explaining it to me the
Yeah.
entire time.
So, Mary has 2 pentagram style tattoos on her arms that glow bright red.
Oh, that's so wet.
Bright red when she breaks Bigsby's arm. Wow.
It's been a
tough.
long
It's
day.
big-
I'm thinking we do the next one on
Bigby's
Sunday.
arm, suggesting that they increase her physical strength when they glow. Implying that Mary may not be her true name. Mary asks Dee to state what the Mondays call her. We already talked about that. So Bloody Mary is clearly a nickname. A mistake is noticeable if you arrest Tweedledee in episode 1 and punch him twice during the investigation. He should have a tooth knocked out. However, if you punch him once, he should still have all his teeth intact. If this is done, he will have his teeth missing in the episode, despite still having them in the previous episode.
I will say
Just a continuity error there.
yes and no, because also maybe he just got his. I mean, he's a rough and tumble guy. He might have just got his tooth knocked out
Hey
somewhere else
man,
too.
this is a game.
True. Not even
They
real.
got to program that
My
shit.
screen-
Yeah, true.
Screenshots
If
aren't
it's
here.
not on the screen, it's not real.
Pissed off.
You didn't.
Ooh.
I screenshotted. I did before I left, but
Oh.
no, they're not showing up.
Well,
on
as
my-
long as you remember. I got it.
Yeah, I guess the big ones are.
I will
Yeah.
say before the other thing with this final scene, when you go Mega Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Wolf, you don't
TM.
have to jam the X button to turn into the big bad wolf.
It just does it?
Yes.
Oh,
And
how did you know?
I jammed the
I
A.
just stopped. I was like, my thumb's tired.
Fuck this.
I was like, my thumb's tired, and knowing Telltale, this is just gonna work. And I just stopped jamming it, and then he just turns, and that was like, it's such a small thing, but dude, that's so disappointing.
It is. It's like, what's
You
the
know?
point? Yeah.
I hate that.
When D says to Bigby, you know how this goes. The first thing in a visit, you say, "How do you do?" These are the words he is depicted as speaking to Alice in the source material, Alice in Wonderland. The title comes from the nursery rhyme, "There was a crooked man." Not a lot of good fun facts for this one, I gotta admit.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I like
Too
Laura
serious.
Bailey
They
being
all
the
can't
voice
be too
actor. I'm
fun.
like, that's
any
not good.
bad? Any not fun facts?
Yeah, any awful facts?
No.
Someone died creating this
Any
game. I
dull
don't know.
facts?
Yeah. But
So
interesting.
let's go over our choices before we get into the review. Sorry, I had a video on my phone up. Did you interrupt Snow's eulogy? Me and 60.9% of players did not.
I did not either.
Me and 19% of players did.
You fucking asshole. What place did you investigate first? 41.4% of people went to Crane's apartment first, 32 to Tweedledee's, and 26 to the Trip Trap.
Senor Crane.
So I think the obvious two.
Yeah.
Did you make a deal with Jack? You and 44.7% of players did make a deal. We all made a deal.
Did 70% though. 30 more percent.
Interesting.
Did you offer Flycatcher a job? You and 63% of players offered Flycatcher a job. Yeah, so he's like working for to the D's because he is like,
Yeah.
you know, like everyone else, poor.
Yeah.
so
Common
so
theme
Bigby
in-
He's a
offers
poor,
him a job at the business office but he was fired by Crane apparently. So he like offers him job back. And then did you burn Greenleaf's tree? You and 57.6% of players did not burn the tree. So pretty split.
Yeah.
Any difference
Like
in
80.
the percentage?
80% of players
80.
did.
Oh, wow.
And then last thing, did you kill Tweedledum?
Hell yeah.
46.4 did not
About the same.
kill him.
And I did. So what is it? 54 point whatever.
Yeah.
Then.
I like when it's kind of half. It kind of shows that like both sides are pretty valid.
No,
Whereas
that's
it's
true.
like, you know,
I do feel like it does seem like it does seem to bend in the good direction usually for most of these, which is kind of
it's kind of
nice
good
to
when
see,
we're
I
not
guess.
playing this when it comes out because like that percentage has
Can
like
shift and just
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
right. It's not. It's like it's pretty like in place at this
Yeah.
point. Like probably not a lot of people are playing for the first time. So reviews of the episode.
Review time.
US Gamer gave it an 80. A Crooked Mile is a great follow-up to what's come before in the Telltale's exploration of Fabletown. The stakes are raised emotionally, physically, and there's a great debut of a new villain for Bigby to contend with. Fully agree. I think this is the best episode, but like again, we're naturally progressing. The plot is getting thicker and thicker and more meaty and
How many
juicier.
episodes do we have now?
2 more.
That's so,
So
there's
4 and
5
5.
total. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're literally at the climax almost.
Yeah.
We're in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so.
Yeah.
It makes total sense for sure.
Yeah.
Eurogamer Germany gave it a 7. While it's still expertly made and well worth the time and money, really relevant information regarding the murders was few and far between. You don't feel like Bigby is running the investigation. He's hopelessly trailing behind for the 3rd consecutive episode. Fair critique. He really doesn't actually uncover anything about the murders
The
in this
plot's
episode.
pushing him a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he's always behind.
Yeah.
Right.
He wants that behind.
You know, it's,
and I guess, and I think that's a story choice though, in the way of like you need him to be on the
I
back
actually
foot.
like. I don't remember anything. Like I know what happens in episode 5 because it's the end, but like 4, I'm just like I don't even know where we're going. From
I
there.
really don't. I remember like very broad strokes of the end of this, but like for the most part, I'm really kind
It's
of.
so hard. I mean, because it's a good criticism, but at the same time, there's like so many mystery things. I feel like it's just a trope of mystery that like the further into the rabbit hole you get, you stop discovering things, and more so just like weird things start happening, and you just go deeper and deeper.
Well,
you know, like
exactly.
and
And
this is just
I
that,
think
like,
you
you
need
can-
your hero
appropriate
to
Alice
be.
in Wonderland
Yeah.
reference.
yeah, exactly.
You need your hero to be on the back foot too at some point.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
like having him be behind in these first 3 episodes, I think to me makes sense.
Yeah.
And
And
also
then these
get-
next 2 are the ones where he kind of starts.
and
to
then he
get
gets his
ahead.
ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like you know,
He needs to bounce back.
We've been in fights
Yeah.
and we've always come out on
Yeah.
top. Like now he's gotten.
This is the first
he's
one where
gotten
it's
his
truly
comeuppance.
almost.
Did you
Yeah.
ever see Inherent Vice?
No, that's with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, but it's funny because it's like that same thing I was just talking about with mysteries, where like it's more you think you're onto something, but then something crazy happens. That whole movie is just that, and you end up like not really getting anywhere. It's just a guy like a detective just researching and trying to get to the bottom of something, and constantly just getting like,
can't get
wait, what? So yeah, recommend. That's the recommendation of the week.
I appreciate it.
And our last review, everyi.it gave it a 55. This third episode, there's no mystery. The cliffhanger is not strong, and the investigation process is very linear. There is choice to be made. It's true, but we expected more thrills. Like I guess the end is really when the episode shines the most.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of interesting to like get from A, B to C to D.
Yeah.
But really nothing. Again, like it's not like we all had this crazy different path and we all ended up in the same place. Like
That's true.
Like you have to go to the one place to get to the next place. It is
it's true. You ended up at Trip Trap after so long.
And maybe that's something like with the next game.
Can you be so late that like you miss Crane? Like that's the thing.
Yeah,
like
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. So there's really no really world altering decisions there.
And I think that's something that they can improve on with the sequel. I mean, obviously, we've had LA Noir it came out even before this, but with Detroit and like other games like this, I think
did Detroit do that pretty well? I'm sorry.
It's the same type of game, but like there's actually more gameplay in Detroit Become Human.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I feel like they could like do investigations way more broadly and thought out and like actually like add a lot of like missables,
some
and
depth
things.
to it. Yeah,
right. I mean, it's the Telltale formula where it's like the investigating is just like looking at all the items in the room.
sure. And I do think this the last episode you had a bit more in that in the way of like how you kind of had to outsmart Toad and things like that. So I did appreciate that. That's not maybe necessarily existing in this one, but sure.
Maybe this is like a small brain opinion, but it's kind of funny to like give a negative review on the third episode. It's like, did you like the first? I can't imagine they liked the first two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So it's like 6 months of like, oh, the new episode's out, time to play it, and not like
shit on
not
it.
saying you can't like it, but it is kind of
of course not. Yeah.
I just think of like me, if I didn't like the first two episodes, there's no way I would.
Why am I
play
playing?
anymore.
Yeah, honestly, if I didn't like the first episode.
Yeah, exactly. So
I
mean, but also shouts out. Some people like to stick to the things.
Stick through it, and just finish off things.
I just think it's funny to just be like, oh man, I still don't like this third one. It's like, well,
no, my favorite are TV shows. Like you just need to get through the first 3 seasons, and it gets better. And it's like.
Yeah,
that's not how TV shows should work.
I was just saying that about Attack on Titan. Like the first season is like it's not bad, but like
one season
you're
might
going
be
up
a
roller coaster, and that shit's about to fucking plummet.
The one I always think of is like Twin Peaks, where everyone's like, you gotta watch all of Twin Peaks. Season 2, admittedly, is really bad, and it's like season 2 is like 25 episodes. It's like the bulk of the show is season 2, and it's bad.
Oh, so you're saying a majority of the show?
Yeah,
is not
most
good.
of it's bad.
I think I had the same thing with like maybe not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What the fuck? I was talking about another show. It's like, the first 3 seasons are kind of slow,
suck, but you know, it really picks up after that. It's like, what?
I actually just realized I can't talk shit. I'm watching Walking Dead right now, and most of it is bad.
I've
had like
you're into the bullshit
because that starts out very strong. In my opinion,
I thought season 1.
You're not a fan.
Well,
I'd have to go back and rewatch.
When I was younger, I liked season 1.
I enjoyed
watching
season
it
1 a
now.
lot.
It's kind of a drag. I think honestly, I finished 5. I think season 2 and 5 are like the only good ones so far.
Is 2 the
2's
the farm? Okay.
2 and 5?
2 and 5.
You don't think season 1 is good?
No.
Oh,
I think it has iconic moments, but it's not very good.
Shut the fuck
And then
up.
the prison. Oh my god.
I got so mad.
You're just getting very
Season
upset.
3 with the prison is good, but it goes so long that it's like I don't know. It's actually kind of not that good, and the governor kind of stinks. This is a tangent.
I don't think
we don't do tangent.
Hey, we're not on a hot take right now. So can you just?
I don't think the governor is that good, but season 1 is fucking elite.
Dude, watch the CDC explosion. Tell me that's elite. Watch that building blow up and say this is all elite, dude.
Well, I'm sure that's the like.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Like,
there's
dramatically, it doesn't feel like it holds to you.
Not really. No.
All right. Well, that's our second.
We're gonna
mini
continue this
episode
off
on,
camera.
Yeah, on The Walking Dead within our Wolf Among Us rewind. No, I almost said rewind review. Re3.
Yeah.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
On the Wolf Among Us episode
2 more episodes.
3.
We're halfway there.
We're getting there. We're over halfway.
Live it on a prayer.
Indeed.
There we go.
Well, thank you all so much for watching with us. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/Delco Network when we do record live. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We're on all the social media pages as well, at Delco Nerds on basically everything. We got a Discord channel, we got a Facebook page, all of which shall be linked down below. You can find all this information on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. You can email us with your comments, questions, or concerns, delconerds@gmail.com. We would be happy to get back to you. And hey, if you can drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about us, share the podcast, it really goes a long way, and we very much appreciate it. But for Gooch, for Joey, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.